What is going on, my gurus, and welcome to the bonus episodes of the Essential Reading. Hey everyone, and welcome to the new bonus episodes of Essential Reading. Now this episode is brought to you by GamerBorn. GamerBorn is a great place where you can buy gaming merch such as mugs and clothing. And these clothing can come in many age range, from a child. If you want to raise up your son or daughter as a little gamer, you can dress them up at GamerBorn, or your own sort of gear for showing the world that you're a gamer as well. Now they also have esport teams up there as well, and it's getting close to Christmas now, so go check them out and use the coupon code LevelDesignLobby. It's all in one word, capital L, D, and L. The information will be down below in the description as well. Go check them out, and they're great for sponsoring us, so go check them out. So now, let's move on to the actual first ever bonus episode of Essential Reading. What is this? As many of you seen, episode 3, I believe, was already an Essential Reading sort of list, as I broke down one of my favourite books, How Games Move Us, Emotion by Design. But I've decided to try and take this in a new direction and see what you, the audience, think. For the month of December, this month, I'm going to be putting out an episode once a week, and in between the main episodes, I will be having these sort of essential reading summaries where I talk about 5 things that I recommend to you, my listeners, to check out and read about. So I'm trying a different format. Do let me know what you think, either in the comments or email me, leveldesignlobby@gmail.com, or tweet me at maxpears. Now that I've broken down what this episode is, just before we get onto that, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you, to all you gurus who've decided to subscribe and listen to me and my podcast, and also to the guests I've brought on, because it honestly means a lot. I read all the comments and all the tweets, and I try to get back to every single one. If I've missed some, I do apologise, but I've tried to make sure I haven't. And for those who've come across my blogs, to the new people that have joined since starting this, honestly, I just want to say thank you. I now have over 500 of you amazing gurus joining me on this. You truly, it truly means a lot that you do listen and subscribe. Honestly, like, say we're over 500 it's crazy in my mind, absolutely crazy. So sincerely thank you from me to you guys. And it's been a great thing for me so far, because remember, I don't know the answers to everything. I'm just expressing my thoughts, and some of you have had some great points where you agree and disagree, and also some great feedback for me to help improve the show as well. So thank you so much for doing this, because to me it is about a conversation and growing that community. It's not about you listening to me. It's about us talking about design. So again, thank you very much. Over 500 of you listening. It honestly means a lot. So thank you very much. So now that my emotion by design has been announced, let's get on to this. All of these that I'm going to be talking about with you today will also be in the description down below as well. So if you're looking for a link, just go down there and you'll find a link from there. So the first one I'll talk about is a GDC talk by Steve Lee, who is one of the level designers on Dishonored, and he also did BioShock Infinite. And he talks about Dishonored 2 and the level design approaches they took, the principles of what they believed was truly important in creating their levels. There's a lot that he covers in this talk, and he does a great job, because Dishonored has some of the best choices going around, and they definitely try and make sure they also build up a story side as well. What I mean by story side is build the lore around their levels. So I don't want to go into too much detail about this or the other topics, but I strongly recommend that you check this out for any level designers. I definitely learned a lot. I've watched this 3 times now just to make sure I haven't missed anything, because I think there's a lot to be taken away from the Dishonored level designs, some of the best in the recent years for sure. And as everyone knows, I believe Clockwork won or was nominated for some of the best levels of last year. So go check that out. I think it's a great talk by him. And let me know what you think about it. Next, I'm going to be giving a shout out to one of my favourite podcasts, and that's Psychology of Video Games. You want to check out not just the whole podcast, but specifically episode 29. Now in this, they talk about morality in video games. and what provokes and makes choices in video games meaningful, discussing from Telltale's Walking Dead series to the choices of you turning left or right in, say, something like BioShock. It's breaking down all these choices that the player makes and seeing actually what has a meaningful impact on the player. What makes you feel like you're a hero compared to a villain with your choices, or what puts you in that moral grey zone. It's a really, really good episode. There's some great episodes in there. I recommend subscribing to them. And just go check it out, guys. It is a really, really good episode. Next is another podcast, and it's called Drive to Work, episode 384, Group Creation. And now, this is a brilliant one because sometimes I think that we forget about this. With games these days and them costing so much, is that we work as a team. Now, teamwork is crucial in making games. You know, it's easy to get lost in your own discipline or your own passion for the game. But remember, it's not about you being right or your department being right. It's about the game being right, doing what's best for the video game. And in this episode, he discussed, now it's about Magic the Gathering. So it's not a video game per se. I know there's an online version, but it comes from the card game. But still, they have a great team there and a design process with how they work with other teams to make sure that this game improves every single time. And whether you're a student making a group project and a game jam just with a couple of you, or working on a AAA project, teamwork is extremely important. And we need to all make sure that we're doing this for the benefit of the game, not for the benefit of our egos or departments. So go check that out. Some brilliant talks there. Next, we're going to move on to extra credits. Keep Cutting. That's the name of the episode, Keep Cutting, and it is on season 14, episode 23. Now, this to me is more about breaking down about the industry as a whole, not rather than there being specific points to learn. It's more about showing how, because games are getting bigger and they cost more to make, the detriment of this can become causing issues with having to cut parts of the game, games being unfinished, or games that aren't going to sell while having to be released because of money being spent into them. It's really interesting, and especially for those who are wanting to get into the industry, just having a better understanding of the side that is the business side. Because games are great, we all have passion because we want to make video games, but don't forget, it's a business as well. So I think it's important for you to understand the business side as well, and it brings in some really good points for us to not forget as developers who aren't working always on the business side. And now for the final one. I'm a real big fan of this YouTube channel, as I'm sure probably many of you already are. If not, it's called Game Maker's Toolkit. It's by Mark Brown, who was a game journalist for years, who's created his own YouTube channel, breaking down the design of games. He does some really cool stuff. I'm a fan. And this episode is How Cuphead's Bosses Try to Kill You. It's breaking down Cuphead, and the time that I'm recording this episode is when Cuphead probably came out about a couple of weeks ago. I take that back, maybe a month or so ago. And it's about the bosses and them telegraphing how the player should dodge and weave and what the player has to learn, and making sure that they're not frustrated at something they've done, but it's about them learning the boss's patterns rather than jumping in and just charging straight away. And I think it's really important with this video, and this video makes a good point on it, which is it's about the players being frustrated at themselves, not the game. So when they make a mistake, they don't go, oh, what just happened? They understand that a mistake was made and it's because they weren't paying attention or they hadn't seen that part of the boss, so they're still learning. Cuphead is a great game for this, showing players that they need to pay attention and learn and not get frustrated from it. So my gurus, that is 5 suggested topics for you to listen and read and watch as well. And yeah, let me know what you think about this sort of format for the essential reading. Like I said, episode 3 is a bigger and more in-depth breakdown. If you guys would prefer for me to keep essential reading like this or like the previous method, let me know. I said you can reach me at MaxPairs on Twitter. You can email in your comments, leveldesignlobby@gmail.com, or you can leave a review on iTunes, YouTube, and just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. And yeah, this is the first episode of the bonus one, so let me know what you think about it. Honestly, guys, thank you again, and thank you all for subscribing, because it honestly means a lot to me. And we've got a sponsor and a subscriber base. This is more than what I was expecting. I thought it was just going to be me talking to a microphone just for my personal sake. But thank you again, everyone. So take care, and I'll see you all next time.